Hey YouTube! So I just wanted to share a story with you guys about something that happened to me yesterday. And this is a true story. This actually happened. I have a family member and it was her birthday yesterday. And we have kind of a tradition where every year on her birthday I take her to Arby's because we live kind of near an Arby's. It's about a half-hour drive away. And she gets her favorite thing in the world, which is a meat mountain. If you don't know what a meat mountain is and you've never heard of it before, it's probably because it is a secret menu item. It is a real thing that Arby's came up with and they make it and they sell it, but it's not on the regular menu. And what the meat mountain is basically a big sandwich that has all the meats, or almost all the meats, that Arby's can make. So it has roast beef, it has brisket, it has bacon, I think it even has chicken tenders. It's a big stack of meat. This family member is still in high school, and I work all day, so the earliest that we could go and get the meat mountain was sometime in the afternoon or evening. Well, this family member had a band event for school in the evening, or in the afternoon. So it was a pretty late evening by the time that I went and picked her up and we were gonna go. So we drive over to Arby's, and by the time we get there, there's like an hour left before they close. And it's kind of a small-ish town, so it's not very busy, and it was a weeknight. So we get there and we see that they're hardly busy at all. I mean, their parking lot was almost empty and there was nobody in the drive-thru, which is where I had to go because I also needed to pick up some food and take it to another family member. I was kind of an errand girl. So I went there and I went up to the drive-thru and I ordered the other meal for the other person, and we got a couple of snacks. And then I said, would it be okay if I also ordered a meat mountain? I asked it as a question because, you know, I mean, it could be only certain locations can do it, not everybody participates, that kind of thing. And so the guy who was taking our order said, yeah, we can do that, but it's going to be 10 minutes. And I thought, well, that's fine, that's reasonable. It's a meat mountain. Of course it's gonna take some time. So we wait for about 10 minutes, and then when the guy comes back to the window to give us our bags of food, I reach through my window to grab the bags, and he kind of holds on to them and holds them back and does not give them to me. Oh no, something's wrong. He looks me dead in the eye, still holding on to my bags, and says something along the lines of, we're not gonna be making meat mountains anymore this late at night. And he tells me that from now on they're gonna decide that 8 o'clock is their cutoff time for a meat mountain. And he says this as though we come there every day and did this all the time, even though this was like the first or second time that we had ever gone to their location. We used to go to a different Arby's, but it kind of, I don't know, it's in a different area and there's more traffic and it's busier, and I just thought it'd be better to go to the one that would be less busy. And that was fine, honestly. I said, okay, I understand. But then he didn't stop talking. He kind of kept going, and I could tell that this guy was kind of agitated. I mean, it's like I asked for, you know, something awful, like I ruined his day, and he told me we have other customers that we have to serve too, and they get cheesed off when they have to wait for things like for us to make a meat mountain. And by the way, I looked behind me, there was one other car that had come up behind me at some point during my wait. So it's really not like we hit them during a busy time or anything. I think they just didn't want to make the meat mountain. And then he handed me my bags, finally, and I took them, and then he turned away without a word. And I sat there thinking, okay, you know, we just ordered a few things, maybe there's another bag coming. I didn't know, so I just kind of continued to sit there. And I don't know how long I sat. It wasn't too long, but it felt like a long time and everything was awkward. And then finally, I realized, and I looked at I had two family members that were in the car, and we just kind of laughed, but we also, somebody said, you know, what are we waiting for? And the reason I was confused is because the guy didn't say anything that would let me know that it was okay to leave. Like, they always say something like, thank you, or have a good night, or in his case, get the heck out of here, and don't ever come back, or something. Anything to let me know that our transaction was over. There was nothing like that. So I felt really bad for the guy behind me because, I guess he did have to wait a little while, and then he had to wait another little while because I didn't know what to do. And you know how when you order something and they either have to make it from scratch or, or it's gonna be a while, they ask you to please pull forward or pull off to the side into a spot and wait so they can help the other customers. Yeah, they didn't do that. I really think they just did not want to make the meat mountain. And the funny thing was, my family member told me in the car on the ride home after that whole awkward situation that earlier that day in class, the teacher had asked the kids to talk about traditions that they might have in their family. And she had shared about how every year, we go to an Arby's and she orders the meat mountain. And nobody in her class knew what it was, so she told them, and everybody was interested in it, and everybody wanted one. I'll bet they're all gonna go to that same Arby's and probably bug that same guy. Well, the meat mountain was a secret menu item, but it's not a secret anymore, at least not where I live, and now I'm telling you. So, next time you go to Arby's, remember, meat mountain. But you didn't hear it from me.